Hello everyone, my name is Carlos and I'm here to show you how to remove a 2015, a 2016, and 2017 Toyota Camry front fender. As you can see for this one, there's a very large dent here. And this is the replacement part I have here. Now my model is a 2016 model, and this is from a 2015 Camry, but this applies to, like I said, to the 2015, 16, and 17 model. They're all the same generation and all virtually the same. I know I went ahead, but here's what you're gonna need. I would say here are some of the tools you're gonna need. You're gonna need a flathead. You're gonna need a screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver. You're gonna need one of these special fastener tools, and a 10mm socket, and of course you're gonna need you're gonna have to remove the lug nuts from your wheel, because you're gonna have to remove your wheel as well. In addition, you're gonna need a jacks, how do you call it, a jack, and if need be a jackson as well, however you may like it. But you're gonna need to remove the wheel just to get access to some of the screws. You're gonna have to remove from here, and here as well. I'll show you more in detail as I go along, but it's gonna make your life easier if you jack up your car and take off the wheel. Next, you're gonna have to remove all the fasteners that are lined up along the edge of the fender. This is as a result to try to take off the fender well. You're gonna have to take this off. They all come in different shapes and sizes. Some of them you can use a Phillips screwdriver, and for others you're definitely going to need a fastener tool, so keep that in mind. A lot of the fasteners, they spread around, definitely around the entire wheel well on the along the edge of the car, or along the edge where the wheel goes. And then you're also going to remove some of the screws from the inside using a screwdriver, or also just a 10mm. Okay, a special note to add is that on the bottom here towards the door, on the bottom, a 10mm screw fits nicely in here on the bottom, so make sure to pay attention and take that one out as well. You can't miss it. If you can't take out the entire wheel well, you're gonna know for sure, because a screw goes here, and on the very front where the wheel, or the very front of the car, another piece goes over here as such, like this, and these have two 10mm screws. You can also take them out with a screwdriver as well, a Phillips screwdriver. Okay, next you're gonna have to remove this screw hidden behind the door. So in order to access it, open up the door, whichever side you're working on, and the screw should be hidden right in front of where the side mirror is. You can't miss it. You can use a 10mm to remove it, but just be mindful that it comes with a washer as well, and just keep it somewhere safe, and let's move on. Okay, next, open up the hood of the car, and this side piece right here on whichever side you're working on is very flimsy. It's just a plastic piece. There's no screws or bolts holding it in, so all you do is push it towards the engine, and it should slide off just nice and gently. Just push it off and it should come off. Also, just be mindful of the slots that they have. Notice here that there's a slot here available. It's supposed to be able to slide into where these fasteners are located. So, as such, you can just push it back in when you're ready to install it back in. Go ahead and remove the 3 top bolts that were located just under the plastic piece you just removed, or I just removed. And these fasteners can stay in place. Do not take them out. There's no need to do so. However, this screw right here, yeah, you can take it out. Actually, you're gonna have to take it out and make sure to keep it safe, of course. Okay, moving on to the next screw. It's gonna be located just under the front bumper, whichever side you're working on. And that screw right there you see, you're gonna have to remove that one. This black piece you see, you don't have to remove it unless the new fender that you have does not come with the black piece. So if need be, if you need to transfer the black piece over, the black plastic piece over, then do so as well. Okay, next, go to the door, to the side in which you open the door, in order to take out this screw right here. And you're gonna go to the bottom, right where the door closes, and you're gonna see the screw. Make sure to take this out with a Phillips screwdriver, as such. Alright, one last thing before we can move off the last bolt on this side of the fender is you're gonna have to go under to where this, I guess the fender, the side skirt is. You're gonna go under here, and you're gonna find a fastener right here. This one could be was a little bit of trouble to get out, but you should be able to pry it out with your fastener tool. Give it a nice little, I already took it out myself, so it's not going to be as hard, but take this out and you're going to be able to access the bolt here. Just to refresh your memory, it is right under here, just under the door you were working with. Okay, lastly, before we access the bolt, just pull back on the skirt here, the fender, the side skirt, push it out, and make sure to close the door halfway in order to better pry it out. Just do it nice and easy, and you should be able to access this bolt right here. This is the one you're going to take out to, this should be the last bolt to take out for the skirt, so, or I'm sorry, the fender. So it should, yeah, pretty much. Okay guys, I kind of lied. I know I didn't take out the last bolt yet, but let's go back to the front of the fender. Attaching the side piece here, this black piece, is a bolt right here. Just take that out and you'll be, yeah, you're almost golden. Special mention is that this bolt does not have a washer, so keep that in mind. The other bolts have a washer, this one does not. So yeah. All right, last bolt here, ladies and gentlemen. So you know the screw we took off from this piece, this black piece? Well, push the black piece to a little bit to the side and you're going to be able to see the last screw right here. This is the last screw to take out for the fender. Just go ahead and do that, and this one has a washer. Okay, another special note is that if your new fender, like mine, or if your new fender does not come with this black piece, you're gonna have to pry it off the old one. It shouldn't be too much of a problem if you just kind of give it a very firm tug and just pull it out from the slot there, from the square slot. If need be, the bolt is going to hold it in place, so don't worry too much about it. But just a little mention, a special mention I want to throw in there. And then the final step of the removal process of the fender is simply, well, just tug it out. And there it is. We just took out the fender. Yeah, that's definitely my fault. I did that. Yep. Just be careful when you took it out. Yep. And well, this is my fender without the screws. I don't have to, as you can see, I don't have the screws on, but it's already, I just placed it on top and it fits perfectly. I don't have any of the screws on, as you can see. Yep, fits perfect. Alright, quick inventory check. You should have 8 bolts. 7 of them have the washer, and then one of them, this pertains to like that black piece. And lastly, this one is the one used to fasten down that that plastic cover that we removed from the side over here. If you don't have all 9 of these, I suggest you start looking for them. Alright, special note before you start fastening these bolts, make sure that the front side of the fender slides under the headlight. You don't want it over, just remember to just slide it under towards this way. And everything else should just follow suit. Once you have it in place, you can see all the holes and all the slots line up very well. Okay, here's a quick recap as to where all the bolts are going to go. These are the bolts that have the washers, all 7 of them. So remember, there's one down here. These aren't fastened, by the way. I'm just trying to show you. One right here. The one right here with the door open, of course. And then there's, well, that was 2. This is 3, 4, 5. The 3 on the top of the fender. The one behind the black piece, that's 6. And then the one that goes over here, number 7. And then you should have left 2 of these, which we'll cover later, shortly. Okay, hold on. Before you fasten these bolts, be careful with them. They're very flimsy. As you can see with mine, it already broke. I didn't even put in too much torque. If you keep wrenching them in and they keep spinning, well, don't wrench in them too much. It's a lesson learned here. I'm gonna find another bolt now, but it's fine. It's only one, thankfully. Okay, remember about the bolt they tell you that didn't have a washer? Remember, that one goes over this black piece over here. Give you some references towards the light, the headlights. Remember, no washer. That's the bolt that you want to get in there. Otherwise, your car's gonna fall apart. Just kidding. And of course, once you have that bolt in there, you can go ahead and I push this the front bumper, push it back in there, push it nice and easy. It should sit. I'm trying to show you with it, like the black plastic parts should slide in just fine in there. As such, okay, you should have only one last bolt directly attaching the fender. It should be this bolt right here. I'm sorry, the screw. This one's going to go over here, but before that, remember this black piece, black plastic piece. Make sure to line the slots with the fasteners, and in reversal from the beginning, you just slide them under the fasteners as such, and it should fit in real nicely. Okay, there we go, perfect, like it never was removed. And then of course, lastly, this one goes here. Okay, so the last screw directly connected to the fender, or whatnot, goes right here. I think a piece fell down that was necessary for it to go here. I apologize for my lack of workmanship, but I don't need this anymore. It's gonna be fine. The headlight's gonna stay in place. But yeah, the last screw goes right here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have to let you know that from the old fender, there's this black piece that was installed to it, and it came with 3 retainers attached to them, and you have to remove all 3 retainers in them. The retainers look like this. They have this like line running across it, and they have a very soft, kind of like a soft little thing under it. Soft part doesn't really matter. It's very flimsy and everything. I couldn't find a piece that fits it in the kit I have, but I used one of these right here. These retainers work fine. You can take a look at the number, what type of push style. It's a push style retainer. I used the one right here, the 459870B, B for Bravo, and that's the one that actually fit on the fender, on the side of the fender. So just giving you a heads up. And there's 3 of them that you should put in there. And this is the end result installed. It should look like you have this arrow pointing up for reference. Yep, pretty much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's getting a little dark, so I'm using a light. Bear with me. Right now we're just gonna fasten. We just need to fasten a fender, or the side skirt, I want to say, back to the fender. So make sure you have the fasteners lined up in there, and then as well on the side that where the door was open, the fasteners line up with the holes. Make sure the door is fully open, please, because you're gonna it might scratch it on the side. So keep the door fully open for this, and just tuck it in nice and easily, and that should do it. Let's go over here, and voila. Now the old fender should have a little piece that should look like this. It's a square piece. If I take this out, this is going to break. So as an alternative, if possible, you can get one of these right here. These are the Toyota push style retainers, 465530B as in boy, Bravo, and they look like this. They're like the most square, the squarest of fasteners, or retainers that you can put in here. And let's just leave it as that. That's the only alternative I have. Maybe you don't have as much alternatives either, so we'll leave it as that there. All right. We're going to finally completely fasten the fender, the side skirt. Keep getting messed up. And just remember this screw, this little tiny screw right here, the Phillips, you use the Phillips screwdriver to get out with. Yeah, remember to pop it in there and fasten away. All right, we're getting to the fender liner now. Thank goodness. So the way the fender goes in is just simply this piece right here is going to attach to here. I'm just letting it hang right now, but it should attach right there, and then yeah. All right, special note before you install the fender is that there's this line going through. I think it connects to the headlights, so be careful when you're installing the screws. You can see right there the screw's going to go right. Let me see if I can point it right there with that. Right there where the spot goes. It's gonna be careful not to damage the wire going through, because that's where it's gonna go. There's the hole right there. All right, guys. I'm gonna show you the opposite side to show you where the fasteners and the screws go on for the liner, because I really messed up on the other side. I just pulled them all willy-nilly. But let's see, let me show you real quick. So you have this kind of fastener there for the front. Right here, right in the union, right between the fender and the bumper, is this small screw. This Phillips screw goes in there. On the inside, you have this bolt, 10mm goes there, or you know, bolt, and then this is another bolt as well for 10mm. You have another couple of the fasteners. This one you use a Phillips screwdriver. A fastener here. It's just, you know, I don't know. It's a fastener. A fastener goes in here. The one goes that's inward. This one uses a fastener as well. Yep, this one uses a fastener as well. What else? Oh yeah, the pieces down here actually I wanted to show you. For this here, you have, for this piece right here, the square piece, you use 3 screws. You can only, this requires a Phillips screwdriver to put it back in. Should be 1, 2, and then 3 right over there. And there's that. Install tire. Let's see. Install the wheel back. For the torque specifications for my Camry is an SE model, so it's 17-inch rims. I use 76 foot-pounds of torque to put back the lug nuts. It might be different for you. I suggest you look online. I'm really not sure for the LE models or the XSE models. I know the LE models I think have 16-inch rims, and I think the XSE, especially the SXE, I think has 18-inch rims, so they could be different. Just make sure to double check online for the torque specifications to put your wheel back in. Other than that, thank you for tuning in, and this is Carlos signing off. Have a great day.